Welcome to Inside Sim Racing and our review of the Thrustmaster TGT wheel and pedal set, the most expensive wheel and pedal set that Thrustmaster has ever offered. The question is, does the performance of the TGT justify the high price? That's what we're here to find out as we go through the pros, cons, and neutral attributes of the Thrustmaster TGT, the official wheel of Gran Turismo. No, the TGT is not a direct drive wheel, a rumor that had legs thanks to a lost in translation comments from GT creator Kaz. But it is the best wheelbase that Thrustmaster has ever made. While Thrustmaster wheels usually sacrifice some smoothness for road feel, the TGT does not. It's a fair amount smoother than Thrustmaster's previous smoothest wheels, the TSPC Racer and TSXW Racer twins, and you rarely feel any bumps or cogs when you turn the wheel. It's able to accomplish this without deadening the feel either, giving you the best of both worlds, detail and smoothness. As for the force feedback, it's also a step up from the TS Racer twins. We drove the TGT and TSXW back-to-back with the Sparco P310 competition wheel on the TGT to eliminate the effect of a smaller diameter wheel, and the TGT force feedback was about 20% stronger if we had to put a number on it. The bump in force feedback isn't as noticeable as the bump in smoothness, but it is an improvement nonetheless. And if you are curious, the force feedback difference between the 28cm TGT wheel and the easier to turn 31cm Sparco P310 competition wheel wasn't much, which just shows how strong the wheelbase is. Clearly the TGT is the official wheel of Gran Turismo Sport, and we're not just saying that because it has a big GT logo on it. While all standard PS4 controller buttons make their way to compatible PS4 wheels, none of them have the left and right sticks. The mini sticks on the wheel not only give you another way to navigate, but more usefully, make painting and taking pictures of your car much easier than any other wheel. Without the TGT, you'd be better off going to the PS4 controller to both paint and take photos. But outside of that, what else does the TGT offer to GT Sport? Depth feedback. Depth feedback adds suspension and vibration effects via the steering column. It's a pretty cool effect. As the car speeds up or goes over rumble strips, there's a low frequency vibration that you not only feel in your hands, but if you have a simulator, you can feel through your seat and the pedal plate as well. I was really impressed by the sensation across my entire next level F1 GT rig. It's very sim experience sim vibe-like, I'll bet not as strong, but doesn't require you to be on the PC and have all the other things you need to get sim vibe working. And of note, for depth feedback to work, the wheel must be in GT mode, and GT Sport is the only title that it currently works in. Hopefully this will change in the future because the sensation is really cool. It'd be nice to be able to experience this in other titles, but for now, it's a GT Sport exclusive. The TGT wheelbase is functional, but not super exciting. It's smaller and lighter than the TS Racer twins, which is nice for a PS4 compatible wheel that might be getting moved around a lot. It also has a nice metal base with padded feet that can be secured via included clamp, or included M6 bolts and round feet for them as well. For a while now, I've said how hardware manufacturers should really go and toss a couple M6 bolts into the box with the wheel base, because I feel like it's kind of ridiculous that you gotta go buy bolts once you get your brand new wheel. So I'm happy to report that Thrustmaster has finally taken me up on this and included some M6 bolts and the padded feet that go with them. Lastly of note is the I/O, featuring modular power, USB, pedal, and shifter connections. So while all those things are good, what's not as good is the look of the TGT. It isn't the most exciting wheelbase out there. The casing is entirely made of black plastic, sans some metallic mesh for cooling. The rounded, non-symmetric shape isn't awful, but it isn't the prettiest either. And also, the most interesting design element of the wheelbase is actually the part that you see the least, and that's the transducer on the back. All in all, it's just okay looking, especially when next to the TS Racer siblings with their angular design and metal inserts. As for the TGT steering wheel, it's a mixed bag. On the positive side, all those buttons are awesome. There are 12 push buttons, not including the PS button, D-pad, 2 mini sticks, and my personal favorite, 4 machined aluminum rotary selectors with 12 positions and push function. All the buttons have nice resistance to them, particularly the L2, R2, share, and options buttons, and the rotary selectors feel great to the touch and are very positive in both rotation and push function. I really loved being able to toggle through the bottom right menu in GT Sport by pressing the button rotary selector and then rotating it to adjust things like ABS, traction control, and fuel usage. Outside of GT Sport, which quite frankly didn't utilize all the buttons, and to PC land, the amount of buttons that the TGT have might be enough to give you pause for going out and buying a button box. Between the number of buttons and the variety of them, only the most complicated cars, like modern F1 cars, might demand more buttons. Outside of that, there are plenty enough buttons to map on the TGT steering wheel. But on the not so positive side, the 28cm leather wrapped rim is an issue. The 28cm wheel just looks and feels small. If it was an F1 type rim, I think I could live with 28 centimeters. But for a traditionally shaped round wheel, I want it to be at least 30 centimeters in diameter. Oddly enough, and speaking with Thrustmaster at E3, they said that actually Polyphony pushed the 28 centimeter diameter, which is kind of odd. I can't entirely figure out why they did that unless they were maybe concerned about going larger and reducing force feedback strength. Either way, I don't care for it. Also not helping the size issue is the feel of the rim. After some great, meaty, and supportive rims from Thrustmaster, such as the 599XX Evo 30, TSPC Racer Rim, and Sparco P310 Competition, the TGT rim feels underwhelming. While the leather and stitching is nice, there isn't much padding underneath it, making the rim a bit hard and not really as meaty as I would like it. Also not helping is the feel of the silver plastic accent on the bottom. There's countersunk bolts on the backside of the rim securing the silver accent piece, and while you're driving, your finger touches the top bolt hole and it just doesn't feel great. Then there's the question of the piece from a design standpoint. I don't think the TGT is a bad looking wheel, but I think it would look more high-end without the plastic silver accent and the large GT branded center hub. The plastic pieces take away from the quality bits, such as the leather on the rim, the metal wheel spokes, and the nicely machined rotary selectors. The T3PA pedals are fine for their price, but aren't nearly to the level of the TGT wheel. Having a bundle that allows you to race out of the box is good, and the pedals with the conical brake mod installed are good enough to get the job done, but for a wheel of the TGT quality and price, nicer load cell pedals are needed. A load cell brake pedal translates how much pressure you apply to the brake, not how much distance it travels, and it just feels so much more natural and something that's really needed at this price point. Which brings us to price. For as nice as the wheelbase is, and how great the entire wheel is integrated into GT Sport, $800 is a lot of money for a package that has okay pedals and 28 centimeter diameter rim. For that kind of money, there needs to be a very high quality experience across the board, from wheelbase to wheel to pedals, and while the wheelbase possesses that quality, the other two components do not. If you're already ride or die for GT Sport, then the TGT is worth giving a look. The buttons provide you the most user-friendly experience out there, and the vibration that depth feedback sends through your entire rig is really cool and well done. But outside of GT Sport, the TGT becomes a much tougher sell. The rim is just too small, and it's really disappointing to see Polyphony go down this road. Again, in our testing, we found that going to the larger P310 competition rim really didn't hurt the force feedback much at all on this nice TGT wheel base. So it's something that could have been done, just for some reason it wasn't, and that's disappointing. The pedals are also an issue. For the price, this bundle really has to have a load cell brake pedal. Sure, the T3PAs allow you to go out and race, but I certainly struggled going back to a pedal where it took into account how much distance the brake traveled versus just how much force I'm putting on it. And while the TGT wheelbase is the best wheelbase that Thrustmaster has ever made, it's not enough of a step up to overcome the wheel, the pedals, and the $800 price point. Now, if you get all of this in the $500 range or $600 range, then maybe there's some things here that could be overlooked. But at its current price point, the Thrustmaster TGT really begs the question, how big of a fan are you of GT Sport, and how much do you want the officially licensed wheel? Thank you for watching our review of the Thrustmaster TGT wheel and pedal set. If you enjoy it, please give it a like. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Check out our website, isrtv.com, for latest news, reviews, and our popular forums. We'll have this review here. We have our Gran Turismo Sport review there, Thrustmaster TSXW, all sorts of reviews there that you can watch the videos or read this entire script at our website, isrtv.com. Also, if you want to support us, check out our Amazon affiliate links in the description below. Click on the link, shop through Amazon. Doesn't cost you a thing, but kicks back money towards us, and it really does help when we do these in-depth reviews. So, again, thank you for watching Inside Sim Racing. Please take care of you and yours.